Recording has begun.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Shazad Hussain and I live at 20 Primary Way, Undercliff. And today it's been 122 days since my brother was kidnapped from my care. And it's been exactly 4 months to the day that my brother was taken. Today is it's right, isn't it? Today is the 8th of Friday, the 8th of December 2023, and he was taken on the Tuesday, the 8th of August 2023. And now it's been 122 days, and I have absolutely no idea where he is, what kind of conditions they're holding him under. Basically, the state, in the guise of West Yorkshire Police and Bradford Council, have kidnapped him and are holding him hostage and against his will. On pretense and lies and deceptions and fraud and corruption, and they know it. And yeah, it's very, very exhausting and tiring. 4 months without my brother, just for somebody to just come and kidnap from a family member like this, and without giving me any kind of clarity of understanding, any kind of framework, that the legal framework that they're working under. Nothing. Just come down to kidnap him. Made some false allegations that I was neglecting him, when the reality was that they were neglecting us and had stolen all his benefit money and all of his other funds by buying off the judges and the judiciary. And I keep on saying these things, and I'm sure that everybody's probably thinking that there's something wrong with me and I'm making these things up. But to make such wild allegations, they are either too fanciful or there must be an element of truth to them. I can assure you that I'm not sitting here lying to you, trying to convince you of lies and deceptions. It would not serve my interest to do so. But they clearly are telling lies. The local authority, clearly there's a social care crisis. But where is the consequence of social care crisis? Where do you see the burning buildings to the social care crisis? Where do you see the broken limbs and people in pain and suffering? You don't see it, do you? It's all behind closed. It's nicely hidden behind closed doors. And obviously, look, this is not a closed door, is it? This is not a closed door. I'm not going to hide it. I'm no longer willing to hide things behind a closed door. I'm telling you everything that's been happening to me, and how me and my family have been victimized and suffered at the hands of the state, who are particularly in the guise of the local authorities, both of the police authority, the local authority, the health authority, and it's just indicative of either I'm telling the truth or they're telling the truth. Well, what is interesting, what is the development today, is I got my police SAR disclosure today. It's fully cryptic. They've hidden and tried to hide up a lot of the information that should be available to me. But what is important is that they have released some of the information, and even that some of the information that they've provided is clearly damning. They've deleted many records, they've redacted much of the information, but even the information that they have provided is very, very damning for them. When I say them, I mean adult social care. They've all been working closely to this, so that's like a really latest development. And when I've looked through this list of crime records, so yeah, they're not. I'm not a criminal today. I've not been a criminal after my criminal conviction in 2016 by the local authority, who clearly financially benefited from this. They made me into a criminal in my first arrest on the 22nd of December 2023. 22nd of December 2002. And I was being staged up. I was basically being set up by a group of people, and it was not just limited to West Yorkshire Police or Bradford Council. It was included both my sister Shaida of 8 Gwen Avenue and my brother Adalat of 8 Granton Street. These nefarious siblings were, at the time I didn't realise, were working with Bradford Council in order to end both my father's life. This all goes back to 2002, when all these people were working collectively, colluding together in order to end my father's life, which was going to be proving problematic to the local authority because he had dementia and they had a duty of care to him, which they were being neglectful on. So this all goes back to, as far as I'm concerned, as far as my direct involvement is concerned, goes back to 2002. However, The reality is that it goes further, 10 years further back to that, from 1992, when all these characters, particularly my brother Adalat, were involved in following the death of my sister-in-law, my older brother's children being taken away from us by well, officially they were done by our cousin brother, but the reality is there's always this what is the reality and rhetoric, or what the truth really is, what's been the facade versus the truth. That's always, the facade is always presented, such as, weapons of mass destruction was a facade that was presented, but the reality was very different. And these facades that keep on getting presented, there's a very villainous and quite nefarious undertaking that's happening, and it all routes or roads lead back to Bradford Council and the failure to provide care services or appropriate care services to adults and disabled people. That's where all roads lead down to. Now, obviously our family has been greatly affected by this, because our family is all to do with the adult social care, and I, who have been championing this cause, have become the greatest, casualty of this. Well, I've not become the greatest casualty. The greatest casualty have been the very people that are supposed to be receiving the care and support services, namely my father, my disabled older brother, my mother, and now my second disabled brother. But it's quite, like I said, it's quite a shocking read to go through the police crime report that's been building up against me since 2002 up until today. 21 years later, they are continuing to build up, allegations and lies and deceptions and a narrative against me in order to vilify and discredit me. And what's interesting is that you can see the fact that other people have been affronted to make allegations against me over and over again, and those people have no real reason or remit to make allegations against me, except under the guise and instruction of Bradford Council. So Bradford Council's in the background, social workers are in the background working away, looking to scam the systems, looking to basically scam the system and cause human suffering and pain at the behest to save money. And you can see that how they've been staging events, one after the other, staging events to vilify me and making police reports upon me over and over again, targeting me because I'm being a carer. So you can see the fact that this information is being now held by the police, and it's quite very, very indicative and interesting to see what information's come out. So yeah, I think that's the really big development for today. I've just reviewed my police crime record and found loads of information there that goes to not only support and corroborate my version of events, but you can see the fact that there was a clear strategy and stratagem and design in order to frame me for. Basically what's been happening is, over the last 21 years, the local authority have been basically staging events and setting me up in order to kill my family members. That's the bottom line. They have been staging events and giving me misinformation, antagonizing me, humiliating, degrading me, and basically using psychological torture and manipulation in order for me to harm and abuse my family members. And in 2002, as a young man, what they were trying to do is trying to label me as an aggressive, violent individual. So they were getting me to physical violence or physical abuse, and then the next one is exploitation, and exploitation is usually financial exploitation. So they came back 10 years later in 2002. So in 2012 they came back. So initially in 2002 they tried to frame me for physical abuse, when there was no such thing as physical abuse taking place. But that's an easy thing to make, in a young man, aggressive, violent. So it's easy to make the allegation of physical aggression and abuse. That happened in 2002. That all failed. Then in 2012 they started a new enterprise of exploitation, and this was financial exploitation. And then obviously they had to buy off there was no grounds for this, ended up murdering my brother Nazim in 2014, tried to cover it up in 2015, sent me to prison in 2016 on allegations of financial abuse. And that financial abuse, there was a lot of money involved, and they got all my other nefarious relatives and siblings involved in order for everybody to make financial gain for themselves at the cost of my incarceration. So that was financial abuse. And then subsequently since I've come out in 2017, they've been trying to pin either physical aggression, violence, and financial abuse again. And they couldn't get any of that. They've been trying really desperately 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, kicked me out of the house. They've just been basically coaching me and antagonizing me and staging me events so I can become physically aggressive and giving me social clues to be aggressive so that they can capitalize on that. Oh, that's all failed now. So they've not been managed to get anything on physical violence or abuse. They've not managed to get anything on exploitation, financial exploitation, when clear financial exploitation has been taking place by everybody else except for myself. And then finally they've now come and said, neglect, or you're neglecting the brother, all right, and then taken him. So they're trying to desperately now desperately trying to pin neglect on me. And failing miserably, because how could I be neglecting my brother when I'm living here and you the council have accumulated over £120,000. So West Yorkshire Police are fully involved in it. They fully know what's going on. They're all now looking to protect themselves and their own reputations and looking to take a step back now. But the consequences that they're not going to release my brother. My brother's now been taken for a complete 4 months. And I have absolutely no idea what kind of conditions they're holding him under and torturing him. And this is just a continuation for the last 21 years, what they've been doing to me. Oh no, should I say from last 31 years, since 1992, when my sister-in-law died. Or shall I go back to 1983, when my older brother was first came known to the services, and we as a family came known to the services. This is a long history of clear abuse taking place. But it's not by me. I'm just trying to be a good carer and try to take care of my own and my own family members due to my cultural and religious requirements. But it's these people. These people are looking to abuse their positions in order to victimize and exploit their positions to cause harm, alarm, and distress to everybody else. And then they blame me for that. So anyway, I think I just should leave it there. I'm not suicidal. I'm not going to kill myself. And if any harm comes to me, if anybody does try to harm me, it's because the local authority, Bradford Council, in collaboration with all its partners, are targeting and victimizing me because I'm looking to whistleblow on the systemic failures in adult social care, where they are killing and murdering people and covering it all up so that they can save money and make financial gain for themselves. I think we should just leave it there. Allah Hafiz.